Hey guys, I thought I might do some Black Ops 2 sniping commentary. Sorry about that S. But I'm gonna do some sniping on Black Ops 2. This isn't a live commentary. I can't do those. Alright, I'm gonna do a creepy pasta today. And I think I might be doing a series. This is episode 1 of creepy pastas. Me and my friends have a game on the bus where we just go home from school, we listen to a creepypasta or two, and then we go on the bus the next morning and tell the creepypastas, and whoever gets the best creepypasta, you know, sometimes we have like candy, like Smarties. It's just what we do to save time. I mean, our bus ride's an hour, so not much you can do. And this one is called the Red Crayon. So a couple moves into a house. Now when they walk in, they find a red crayon. They just throw it out. It didn't really mean much to them. If they're getting a house and starting a family, it's a decent price in a good neighborhood, they don't really mind. Next day, wake up and look down the hall and see a red crayon again. It was a little strange, but after a week, it really started getting on their nerves. And the husband notices something. The hall that the red crayon is placed down every day is shorter than it should be. And so he grabs his tools and he breaks down the fake wall. He sees two sliding doors. They were just nailed shut. He grabs a flashlight. He grabs his hammer and he starts prying out the nails one by one. Finally, the nails are gone, and he tries to open the door. He couldn't quite see, but on the walls was written in red crayon, "Help me, Mom. Be good. Please let me out, Mommy. I'll be good. Help. I'll be good, Mommy." Alright guys, this next one is called The Voice in the Kitchen. So a little girl is playing in her room, and her mom says, "Come on, sweetie, breakfast time, come downstairs." And she does. But when she turns the corner, a hand comes out of the closet and pulls her in. She scrambles and reaches for the light. She turns it on. And it was her mother. She says, "Don't go in the kitchen. I heard it too." Alright guys, this one is called The Hand in the Picture. It starts off as two guys looking for caves. They're in the car, and he says, "Yeah, I think the cave's right up here. I saw it when I was hunting." And so they go to it. They look inside, and it doesn't seem like much. It didn't seem like it was a long way. When they start going down, it's really downhill. They said, "This is pretty steep for a cave like this. You don't see these kind of things very often." And he starts taking pictures of what's inside. He takes a picture of his friend. They just keep on walking. His friend grabs his camera out, starts taking pictures around. And they say, "Hey, you stand over there, I'll take a picture of you." And he says, "Alright, then I'll do the same for you." Before he take the first picture, he felt a hand on his shoulder. He didn't really think it was that much. He think he just backed up into a rock or something. Takes the picture, and he just walks around. It starts to get really cold, and they start to hear whispers, but they thought it was just wind down there. He noticed something. At the end of the tunnel, it was dark, like it was nighttime. But how could it be nighttime? They were only in there for what, 10, 20 minutes? And then he felt something. Another hand on his shoulder. He says, "Dude, this is really freaking me out. I don't know what this is." And he's like, "What? Did you feel something?" "Yeah, on your shoulder, right?" "How did you? I felt it too, man. I don't know what it is." And they heard more whispers, this time closer. He turns around. He He swears he saw something. They both run out of the cave. When they get in the car, they didn't think much, they just drove. A day later, he starts looking at the pictures. He calls his friend and he says, "You gotta see this." In one of the pictures, behind them, was a pale face of a girl, no older than 12, with cuts all down her face. Alright guys, this is the last one. It's called Faces on My PC. So a man who was just watching videos on YouTube, when he comes across a video of a face, it was a jump scare. He didn't think much of it. People on YouTube are like that sometimes, post fake videos of stuff like that. Yeah. Then he starts seeing, when he's not on YouTube, just randomly on the internet, the face will pop up, scare him half to death. He says, "Darn hackers, always doing stuff like this." And starts hearing a muffled sound in his PC. It's really disturbing, he says. And he can't really do anything about it. I mean, it's his computer. Just a little noise in the speakers and won't hurt. And who cares if a hacker makes a screen pop out just a little bit every day, maybe 1 or 2 times. But after a week of that, it was getting hard. He stopped using the computer altogether, but if he went in his house, that muffled sound would start to turn into a very silent scream. If he kept on going in the house, it would get louder and louder. When he went into his car, his computer would somehow, the hacker would make his car speakers have that same scream. He didn't know how. He was too freaked out. He immediately jumped out of the car and went back in. He unplugged the computer, but he still saw the face. It was now not going away. The screams, they were louder, coming out of every speaker in his house. He quickly grabbed his PC. He unplugged everything. Now the face was in all of his electronics. He tried to run, but something made the lights go out. He could feel something behind him. It no longer was a single face. It was a group of faces, and it was him. He was also in there. Except his face looked like someone had just dragged it in their car for thousands of miles without knowing he was there, but he said this couldn't happen, and he looked at the TV, seen someone trying to crawl out. He heard the glass, something was tapping on it, but not from the outside, from the inside. He was too freaked out. He couldn't do anything. He was frozen stiff, just looking at the TV. And finally, it crawled out.